So we're going to start with Parsha meditation, Parashat Vayigash. And it's a very special Parsha to keep the flame of Hanukkah alive, because now we entered really, really cold phase, also here in Israel. And we need the warmth of the Hanukkah flame to continue to burn within us. Even as we're not lighting it in our window anymore, we have to light it in the window of our soul. And so there's a lot of emotion in Parshas Vayigash. It's all about the fire of love and the meeting between Yosef and Yehuda, which also reflects the meeting within our own soul of these two aspects of ourselves. So let's see here. Okay. Now, basically, entering the meeting point of the divine inner self. So Yehuda approached to him. Yehuda penetrated the depths of Yosef's heart in order to convince him to release Binyamin. The word Vayigash, it means to draw near and to meet. The two different paths of archetypical Jewish leadership challenged and confronted each other until they both entered the meeting point of their truest, deepest inner self. And that's really true shalom, when each opponent draws out of the very best in each other in order to unite. So we have to make peace also with our own conflicting selves. Rabbi Meir says there is no Vayigash except for the language of shalom. It's all about making shalom. We too must access and confront the Yehuda and Yosef parts of our soul until we reach the inner truth where Hashem's light shines through. When we succeed to find inner peace between the different and contrary aspects of ourselves, then we can bring light into the darkest exile. And then we can also bring shalom in the outer world around us when we have found our inner peace first. And then we can help bridge the fragmented pieces of our people. I read by somebody, Dr. Israel Susskind email. He says, Hashem will heal our broken heart, but we have to give him all the pieces. So I thought that was really beautiful. Anyway, why are we called Yehudim? Because we are modim, which means we admit that everything is from God. And that's what causes us to Vayigash, to draw near. We need to clarify to ourselves that even in the midst of darkness, there is life emerging from the will of God. And basically, modim, when we are modim, when we act like Yehudim, then we dedicate ourselves to the will of God, even in a time of darkness when we don't see God directly, when we have to believe in him. And that in the time when Hashem's face is hidden, Hester Panim, then when we reach the level of Vayigash, to draw near really to Hashem. And so it's interesting that when it mentioned that Yehuda drew near to Yosef, it really means he drew near to the innermost point of all reality. Because Yosef is the gematria, the numerical value of 156, which is also the gematria of Tzion. Tzion is the inner point. When you're outside of Israel, Tzion refers to Israel. When you're inside of Israel, Tzion refers to Yerushalayim. When you're inside Yerushalayim, Tzion refers to the Temple Mount. When you're on the Temple Mount, Tzion refers to the temple. When you're in the temple, Tzion refers to the Holy of Holies. When you're in the Holy of Holies, Tzion refers to the point between the two cherubs, the two angels that are on top of the lid of the ark of the holy tablets in the Holy of Holies. And then I don't know how to describe the more inner point from there, even though I'm sure there is, because it's endless. But basically, Yehuda is about, Yosef, which is the gematria of Tzion, which means the inner part. That is what it means to get close to Yosef, is to get close to the inner point in ourself, in the world, in everything that we experience, to learn to live in a more inner way, seeing the deeper inner hidden layer. And so that is what this Parasha is about. And then one last thing before we go to the actual meditation is that Vayigash, we have to make the initiative to draw close. It's like Ani ledodi vedodili. First, I'm to my beloved. I'm going to make an effort to come close to Hashem. And that's Vayigash. He went and he drew near. And then we can experience that closeness, but we have to make that effort. It doesn't come necessarily by itself. Through prayer, through good deeds, through meditation. Everybody has their own way to do the Vayigash. So now we're going to try by meditating. So sit comfortably in your chair, take several deep breaths and relax. Inhale Hashem's life-giving light. Exhale any tension from all the limbs of your body, starting with your head and finishing with your feet. Allow your mind to drift as you go through the happenings of your day in your mind's eye. Which accomplishment did you achieve? And which hardships did you undergo? Did you deal with the challenges of your day in the best way you could? Or did you fall short of acting according to your truth? Allow all of the events in your day to wash through you and accept them all, even when you didn't live up to your fullest potential. Did you have a disagreement or confrontation with anyone today, or in the last few days or weeks? Allow your mind to focus on the last difficulty you experienced with another person. Think about why you felt, spoke, acted the way you did. Get in touch with your feelings. Where were you coming from? Now let your mind shift to the person you interacted with. Why did he or she feel, speak, act in that particular way? What kind of criticism did the other person have of your way? Make an effort to find a kernel of truth in the other person's approach. Perhaps you can get in touch with your own weakness, discovered by your opponent, even if it hurts. Breathe into the pain of your own incapability. Breathe into the word gash. Inhale, ga. Exhale, shh. Inhale, ga. Exhale, shh. Inhale, ga. Exhale, shh. Inhale, ga. Exhale, shh. And last time, inhale, ga. And exhale, shh. The letter Gimel is derived from the word Gemul, which means giving. This is alluded to by the leg of the letter Gimel, which expresses the running of the rich person to bestow goodness upon the poor. Allow yourself to take a step with the Gimel of you out of yourself toward the person you interact with. Go toward that person, to his or her inner core, to understand where the person is coming from, and open yourself to see the matters from his or her vantage point. Allow yourself to deeply feel the other person's point. The second letter of the word gash is shin. This letter relates to the Hebrew word shinui, which means change. As you continue to breathe into the word gash, get in touch with a part of yourself that was opposed to the person you interacted with? Do you feel any change? Has the gap between you lessened a bit? Let's try. Ga, sh, ga, sh. The letter Shin is also the secret of the 3 heads of the burning flame. Whereas the outer flame of the Shin is continuously in a state of motion and change, the inner flame represents the changeless. It is your own personal fire and flame of strong belief in your path of personal truth. Vayigash elav Yehuda. Yehuda approached him. The Atma of Koch says that the word elav to him refers to himself. Yehuda examined his own heart. He repeated what he already said earlier to drive the words deep into himself in order to fulfill the ancient Jewish teaching. What comes from the heart enters the heart. But he wanted his words to be so true and powerfully charged that they would be understood and accepted by Yosef. Like Yehuda, you too can go deep into your own approach to connect with your truth that rises above the confrontation or criticism that you may have received. In your mind's eye, understand and visualize your true response to the truth of your opponent. Allow your personal truth to come from an even deeper place, a place that can answer back any criticism of others. Continue to breathe into the word Gash. Inhale, Ga. Exhale, Shh. Invigorate and feel the fire of your truth with each exhale of the letter Shin. Inhale, Ga. Exhale, Shh. Inhale, Ga. Exhale, Shh. Feel the fire. Allow yourself to feel how the power of your truth is penetrating into the power of your opponent's truth, until both of you merge to unite in Hashem's higher truth. Continue to breathe into the word Gash. Inhale, Ga. Exhale, Shh. As you breathe into this higher truth, to the true meeting place between you and the person who challenged you. Inhale, Ga. Exhale, Shh. Inhale, Ga. Exhale, Shh. When you're ready then, slowly tap your hands and feet and open your eyes, feeling renewed inner peace with yourself and others. So basically, Vayigash is a place of meeting between the darkness of exile and the divine light. So it applies both to the global exile and to the individual exile within our own soul, the exile from ourselves. When we're no longer in touch with our personal truth, Hashem's promise to go down with us into exile includes even our individual exile, when we feel estranged from ourselves and incapable of facing opposition. Within the pain of our incapability, we'll be able to find Hashem's light and reconnect with our inner essence in a deeper way in order to emerge with renewed light. Oh.